Hey everyone, let's make some super easy and super cute bookmarks. I am using acrylic paint today, so I'm going to need my heavyweight paper to handle the paint. This is Bristol paper. It is thick and great for sketching and painting on. I'm also going to use an old boring bookmark just to trace the shape I want. I know it fits perfectly in all my books. You can measure your own rectangle if you'd like, but to save time, I'm just going to trace this bookmark. With acrylic paint, I highly recommend doing some underpainting. It'll make all of your colors pop so nicely. And I'm just doing a light paint wash with the colors that I want to use for these bookmarks, and then I'll begin adding some things on top of it. I'm thinking circles, because why not? And a fun trick, get a square paintbrush, and you're gonna sort of like press down and like rotate it in a circular motion to get this pretty much perfect circle. I'm gonna start with like dark to light, basically, so I have this like dark reddy color on this like pinky color, and I'm just gonna continue like doing all those circles. And if your paint is a little watery and there's some bubbles, make sure you pop those because they will dry that way. They'll be like little circles from the bubbles. And I'm just gonna repeat this process about like 100 times on all of these with their respective colors. Again, with doing that circle, you're gonna want to sort almost like as if you're doing a line, but like push and then like do like a circular. It's like the shape is really all in the brush and in rotating your wrist. So if you have a little trouble with doing it, or if you don't like the circles that you're getting, try stepping back and practicing on a different sheet of paper or on the side of the paper. It is much easier to do with bigger brushes. I'll eventually get into a smaller square brush, which was a little difficult at first, but again, practice makes perfect, and just continue until you're happy with your rotating motions and if you think you got it down. Now I'm going to get into the lighter colors. You can barely see differences, but there's going to be so many layers and so many circles of different colors and different shades of blues and yellows and greens and pinks. So it's just going to be a lot and lots and lots of layering to get like some really funky circles. I didn't get a chance to mention this, but to make sure that your layers are drying before you're putting the circles on top, otherwise you're going to be blending those colors in, and we want separate colors and everything needs to be dry. So make sure you are letting your first layer dry before you continue on to your next layers, because we're going to be doing a lot of layers. Now I'm using a smaller brush, which I had a little bit more difficulty with, like I mentioned before, but you know, practice. Like I said, a couple of times, practice makes perfect, and I eventually got the hang of it once I did a couple of circles. And yeah, I basically continue the process of changing the color down to either lighter or darker. Just lots of mixing and doing a bunch of circles. I'm also using paint, so I'm not really worried if I mess up with the circles because I can just paint over it. But I did this so many times, as you can see, that I had pretty good confidence that I wouldn't be messing up anything, so I wasn't really worried about blending, especially since I waited for them to dry. If you're very artsy like me and you love to make handmade gifts for your friends and your family, these bookmarks are fun, easy to make, and just perfect for your book lover friends and family. I know I have a bunch in my friends and family lists. And with this paper, with any kind of paint that you wet down, your paper will curl. You can't tell here because the paper is flat, but until I cut it, all these bookmarks did curl at the ends. So I recommend flattening them down with like some heavy things on top of it for a couple of days, maybe like a weekend if you did this on a Friday or something. They will flatten over time, and they will also flatten in your book. But if you want to have a nice bookmark to gift to your friend or family, you might want to flatten these down so they're not like curled up bookmarks when you give them away. but either way they will flatten once they're in a book because they're bookmarks. As you can see here, I pretty much finished with all the layers that I liked. I did end up adding some more darker colors even after adding these little white circles. The white and I think the white and dark circle colors just make it look really cool, even though I said I would do dark to light in the beginning, but you don't have to do it in that order. You could do light to dark, dark to light. You could even do random colors on top of each other. You don't have to do monochromatic colors like I did. I just thought it'd be easier for me not to mix a million colors with paints, so I just did 4 colors, and I just kept darkening or lightening those colors as I was mixing to get all these little gradients. And we're almost done with these bookmarks, and now I'm gonna let the paint dry. These are looking really good so far. As you can see, I kind of added a couple extra circles off camera, and I'm gonna use some paint gloss to cover these just to protect the paint and also to protect your books because you don't want the paint to stick to your books. Make sure the brush you're using for glossing is completely dry. If there's any paint on it, there'll be a streaky mess on your bookmarks and they'll be all messed up. So make sure your brush is dry, and of course allow the gloss to completely dry before cutting these out because your fingers will be a little sticky and tacky because this gloss that I use can take a while to dry, so I cut these out whenever I felt they were pretty much dry. And if you lose your lines on this, you can either remeasure them or put that bookmark that you used to trace it on top of it again just to get that line back. And with the yellow, you might see the lines on it a little bit, your pencil sketches lines. You can just trim that as best as you can. I'm really loving them. They're looking so fun and cute. I love the colors. It was so fun to make the circles. It was just so relaxing. I could have went on and on and on with doing these circles, and look how adorable. Of course, you can do whatever colors you want as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you followed this tutorial and if you gifted them to your friends or family. Let me know how they turned out. Thanks for watching and happy holidays.